Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I hope you can hear us. Yeah. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I don't know.
I think we
Anyway,
can.
what's up? This is our Sunday live stream. Happy New Year, December 31st. I'm here with my beautiful, lovely, sexy wife. This is AKDI. Live with AKDI, a Sunday tradition that will not stop, even on holidays. I don't care what day it is. It could be Martin Luther King Day. We're going to come to you live. Ain't that
Wow.
right? Happy
That's
New
right.
Year.
Happy New Year.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel like it's gonna be a good year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be, we're not going to be traveling, I think, this year. We're going to be staying here in Budapest. I just got into school, so thanks to me and all my hard work. But she's going to be, you're still going to be in school,
Yeah.
starting your second year, like this time next year and stuff like that. Avery Adams jumped in. Happy New Year to you too, sir.
Happy New Year, Avery.
Thank you. We wish you the best. And Happy New Year's. Thanks for always rocking with us this year. We're going to be doing more live streams, more stuff, more content coming in 2024. It's going to be dope. But yeah, I'm looking forward to starting school next year. Going to be working more, teaching English here online, but also here in Budapest. And just, trying to be chill, trying to grow, trying to develop. Going to get fit, going to get right, going to get a six-pack finally. I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm going to start playing my guitar again. Those are my dreams for 2024. What about you?
Just keep on studying and yeah, try to make more money, try to be healthier and happier, and work on everything that we've been working on for the past year, because it's been fun working on those things. Like,
Yeah.
just I don't know, thinking and reading, and also like focusing on our relationship and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my goals.
Yeah. I think also another thing, you're going to be like finishing all of our Africa videos for Backpack Bandits.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to finish it too soon because, yeah, since we will be here like this year, I want to kind of spread it out. But I'm also excited because we have like not only Africa, we have some Turkey vlogs coming in, some Balkans like Kosovo, Albania, Serbia, and all that stuff. And after we're done with that, we're going to take you guys on a tour of Budapest.
All right, that's good. So there's a lot of content coming out from us, and we're looking forward to that. And yeah, it's been a crazy year. 2023. At the end of this live stream, we're going to pop this champagne bottle for the people. I'm going to squirt it on AKDI,
No.
and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem outside. Right now, outside in Budapest, they're popping a lot of fireworks, aren't they?
Yeah, it sounds like a war zone because everywhere it's like these popping sounds.
Yeah. So we're only going to be on for like an hour or so, and then we're going to head back outside to just see what's popping. But yeah, it's been a crazy year. So the topic for today's live stream is a few different things, because AKDI found some interesting stuff for us to talk about, and I had this topic in my mind. And I just want to chop it up with you real quick.
Yeah.
It's like, what have you learned this year at least, or since we've gotten married, because we got married last year in May. Like, what have you learned being married to a Black American? And what have I learned being married to a Turkish girl?
Okay. First of all, cheers to our marriage and a new year.
Absolutely.
Together.
You didn't look me in the eyes.
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. But should I start, or do you want to start?
You can start if you want.
All right. So when I met AKDI, I was living in Belgrade, Serbia. And Serbia does not have like a big Turkish presence, at least when I was there. I went there like in 2020, and there's no like doner kebab shops everywhere. You don't, hear Turkish in the streets. At least I didn't think so. At least I didn't hear it. And I really didn't even know any Turkish people until I met you. Honestly, like you're literally like one of the first Turkish person I ever spoke to. So I only knew like Turkey from the news, like Erdogan and political drama, and maybe like a terrorist attack every now and then, something like that. I didn't know much about Turkey, honestly.
Great reputation.
I'm just talking about the news now. But then I got to know you, and you were hella cool, and I really liked you. And then, you're the reason like I moved from Belgrade into Istanbul, and living in Turkey exposed me to a lot, like how vast and big Istanbul is, how busy it is, like Turkish culture. You guys love to stay up all night, party all night, drink a lot of tea, drink a lot of rakı and stuff like that. And also, you guys are really good at music and food, and you have a beautiful country with a lot of geography, a lot of mountains, beautiful Mediterranean coast, Black Sea coast.
Aw,
There's a lot to like about Turkey, the country itself.
making me nationalistic.
Okay. But no, being with you has exposed me a lot to Turkish culture, and there's a lot to like about Turkish culture. I've also, been critical of some of the negative things,
Yeah.
some of the bad things I've spoken about before, but there's a lot to like about the country. And I feel like, I learned that, the Turks are not like the Arabs in a sense, because they're very, how can I say, hard on their identity. Like we're Muslim, but we're not Arab. And that was one of the things I picked up very quickly after hanging out with you. And I didn't know that before. I thought maybe there was like some fluidity there in the identity. You know what I mean?
That's some places there is.
Yeah.
Some places there is, but the part that I lived in and you visited with me, very true.
Okay, so
Right.
Live in Wisdom said you guys look really good. Night out. Yeah, we're going on a night out after this live stream. We're just chopping it up with the people for an hour. So leave any comments, questions, anything. So Live Wisdom says, so Turks don't have a strong Arab identity? Question mark. Do you want to answer that?
No, we don't, because we are not Arabs. We are another Muslim country, just like many Arab countries. And I would say that we do share similarities in our cultures, like some of the food, some of the traditions that we have. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like saying Americans and Canadians are the same people.
They want to be us.
See, exactly. This is how, Arabs and Turks feel. Both sides are like, they want to be us. But yeah, it's different. It's like, saying all Europeans are the same or something like that.
All right. Now, that was my learning just about Turkey, the country, and like the culture and stuff. But specifically, this Turkish girl has taught me, number one, Turkish people love yogurt. They love yogurt a lot. This girl consumes yogurt like I consume, like, I don't know, ketchup. Like, it's insane. Turkish people love yogurt, and they also really love pickles. Like, if you go to any old Turkish person's home or a Turkish mom's home, a whole cabinet full of pickles, stuff that ain't been eaten since 1999, stuff just packed up in there. And she's trying to do the same in our house too. Like, oh, we need some pickles, and then throws them in the back of the fridge and stuff like that. Also,
wow, and it tastes good.
I mean, I don't be on pickles like that. I know I've always hated pickles.
But I think you've come to like yogurt more than before.
Yeah, I mean, yogurt is a good mix with certain meats and certain things. So yeah, but I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm eating yogurt at a hazard, to society. I'm causing a detriment to the world every time I put lactose in my body. But Turkish people love yogurt. They love pickles. They love meat. A lot of meat. Like, they eat meat like how Americans eat meat, like almost every day, to some extent. I feel like also, Turkish people have a peculiar thing. Okay, Live of Wisdom sent $50. I don't know.
50 ZAR.
50 ZAR. I don't know what ZAR is. I don't know if that's Zambian Rand. What is that? South. No, I think that's South African Rand. Yeah, Live Wisdom. Where are you from? I don't know where you're from, but South Africa. Okay. All right. Shout out to South Africa. We were about to go to South Africa this summer.
Yeah, we really wanted to.
We were like this close to going to Cape Town because we were in Kenya and we were like trying to go all over South Africa, Southern Africa. But very dope. Let us know where in South Africa you're from and where we should go, because we definitely want to go to Cape Town. But if you have any other recommendations, let us know.
Yeah.
But another thing about Turkish people, I'm sorry I'm ranting.
No, let me answer this question before you continue.
Okay.
Would you say Turks are open to dating Black men regardless of religion? That's a good question. I wouldn't say all Turks are. Like, it depends on where you go most of the time, because like even in Istanbul, even though it's like it's the metropole of Turkey and it's the most like developed city, you can find different types of people. But I would say generally, if they're open-minded, like I think they would be down to like dating Black men as well, like how I am. Like, I don't care. But yeah, it depends on like where you go and what type of people, just like anywhere in the world, I guess.
The thing is, a lot of Black men, particularly from America, are Christian though. and even more in Africa. And I'm sure a lot of the black men in Europe are also Christian as well. So I think he's also asking, like, would Turkish people be open to marrying a Christian black man?
I mean, once again, it depends like on what type of girl you pick, because you can find those like kind of progressive people who are willing to date out of their religion and things like that. But I would say if you're dealing with a very traditional girl, then probably she would want you to like, not be a Christian or something like that. But yeah.
I'm just going to add on to that. I just feel like the biggest hurdle, if you really want a Turkish girl, and I'm glad people are considering marrying Turkish because they see my beautiful wife. So maybe that's why. But the biggest hurdle with Turkish people is just the English. Like, you got to find, it's hard finding a Turks who can speak like really good English like that. Just to be honest, like, your friends are dope at it and you, of course, are good at it. But by and large, when I was in Turkey, one of the biggest hurdles was the language barrier out in the street. Like, there's like zero English in Turkey. Like, they're like Americans in a way because they love their language and they think everybody should speak Turkish. So that's something. But
also, I just want to add one more thing, and this is kind of like a negative perception of Africans in Turkey, but I guess like during the early 2000s, there were like a lot of Africans that came to Turkey that were like merchants, and they would like sell, perfume, like the knockoff perfumes and watches and sneakers and stuff like that. So they gained this reputation of being like a street seller, like a street vendor or something like that. So I think there's that like prejudgment of African people specifically, like, oh, like they're just like selling stuff and they're kind of like, poor and things like that. So I think it's kind of shocks people, specifically girls, if we're talking about them, when they see up in the club and, buying drinks and all of that. So yeah, that's sort of like that negativity that I just want you to be aware of.
Yeah.
I guess.
If you go to Istanbul, at least you'll see two types of black people usually. You'll see like students, people who are obviously there, like they look like they're studying, they have their shirt super tucked in with their backpacks on. And then you have the guys selling beads on the street. Well, let's jump into some comments. Live Wisdom says, I am from Cape Town, basically Western amenities at third world prices. Also very beautiful weather, people and everything. I'm atheist. I find Eurasian women attractive. I just won't convert to any religion for a female, to be honest. By the way, guys, if you're new here, I didn't convert to Islam to get this girl because surprisingly, she's not Muslim. But I'm Muslim, at least. I believe in Allah and his prophet, but I didn't convert to Islam just to get this girl. But I want traditional, but without the religion. I think you can find that. Of course, there's somebody out there for everybody. We went to Africa and we saw so many, beautiful women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm surprised. I don't know. Are there not like good South African girls? Because like, I don't know, man, the Niash is crazy.
I mean, it is. It makes me even want to like just grab it.
Wow.
Sorry. But yeah, like, I don't know. My friends and my friend groups are not that religion, and they usually struggle with like that Muslim identity, and then also like, atheism and agnosticism and that sort of thing. So yeah, like you said, you can find people like that, but
I mean, it's out there. Just keep looking. I just, maybe we can hook him up with one of your friends.
Wow. Well, all my friends have boyfriends right now. So I don't know.
All right. Well, yeah, going back to what I learned being with the Turkish girl. I'm sorry. Just one last thing. Thing. Turks don't have microwaves in their homes, but they all have a little toaster thing. They have a Foreman grill. Every Turkish house has a Foreman grill. They be grilling stuff like grilled cheese sandwiches and all sorts of toasts and stuff like that. It's another thing about Turkish.
We even cook meat in those.
Yeah, so they really love the toaster, but they're not that cool with the microwave and stuff like that.
No, I mean, now most houses have it, but I just didn't have one when I was growing up, and now I feel like it's a health hazard.
Dog, she'd still be asking me questions. Can I put this in the microwave? I'm like, that's a fork. Do you want to blow the house up? Like, it's covered in tinfoil. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's still one thing. What else? They love coffee, but they love tea even more.
Yeah.
And a real Turkish person will drink that hot ass tea just straight down. They'll pick that thing up.
Like my mom.
Yeah, they don't care about if it burns, like literally burns.
But if you really want to impress a Turkish girl, just give them some good food and some good like coffee talk. That's what we enjoy. Like a good long coffee or tea talk. Or something like that.
And another thing, I feel like I got a chill Turkish girl because some of them are a bit turned, like they're a bit dramatic, you know? Like your friend who I met you with, she's hella dramatic.
Oh yeah.
And you know, to some degree, a family member of yours. It's a bit dramatic. I feel like there's that, you know, that drama that and jealousy. Another thing. A lot of Turkish girls are big on that jealousy stuff. You know?
That is a very like, you know, I feel like that's also almost like a cultural thing now, but also like families are very protective in Turkey. Like how in America you guys are supposed to like move out at 16 or something like that. Like we don't have things like that. Like a man or a woman stays in the house most of the time until they're married or something like that, or until they're in a very serious relationship that they're moving out with their boyfriends and girlfriends. So I think that protective thing that you saw was like
it's a part of that culture where they want to protect the kids and stuff like that. Let's jump into the comments. You want to read that?
Okay. So they're a very beautiful South African woman. I just like dating outside of my culture, new challenges. So did your wife convert to Islam?
You want to answer that?
No, I did not. We talk about religion and like most other things that we talk about, like culture, race, and all that stuff, and we exchange ideas. But no, like I grew up in a Muslim country, so I understand what Simon does and how he thinks. And sometimes like, you know, I would fast with him or, you know, and things like that. So I'm used to being around Muslims, and I was a Muslim when I was a child. So it's okay for me if it's okay for him. And that's one of the reasons that I love you.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get you into Jannah one day. We're going to have you saying Shahada again.
If there's one.
We're going to have you saying Shahada again. But yeah, I think that's a lot of what I've learned being with a Turkish girl. I also know they really like to dress in black. Turkish people love to wear black clothing, especially in winter.
Yeah.
It's all about all black. I think other stuff that I've covered about Turkish people I've done in my other videos. But that's a lot of what I've learned being with you. Also, I'm sorry. Another thing I've learned being with the Turkish girl is that they have like their ways of doing things, and it's hard to change them. Like, for example, I recently bought like some window cleaner, right, to wipe down all the glass stuff, like this glass table, windows, mirrors in the house. And this girl breaks out like vinegar and like lemon juice and mixed it together and was wiping stuff down. I'm like, I bought window cleaner. You're like, no, this is better. And I'm like, the house smells like vinegar now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because, you know, those are like little tips and tricks that you get from your mom or your grandma or something. And they're better at doing certain things that, you know, cleaners do.
Wow.
It's better. They're better.
It's funny. It's like certain stuff. It's like.
And also it's environmental friendly too.
Yeah, but the cleaner does not make the house smell like coleslaw.
Well, it's going to fade away in 10 minutes. So you better just hold your mouth and nose. That's it.
Certain things I appreciate because, like, you know, she can find a solution to anything. Like, if something is broken, she's like, okay, I can easily fix this and stuff like that. Like, I feel like you're good at being that creative because you know all those old wives' tale tricks and stuff.
Yeah, it's that plus also like being poor and living alone in high school and university. So that kind of, you know, makes you get creative.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I've learned being with the Turkish girl. That's all that's in my mind right now. But,
okay. Do you want to read the questions?
Okay. So wow, that's so cool. Oh, so why did you leave the religion? Do you want to answer why you left Islam?
I won't go into detail, but I don't know. It's just it didn't really make sense to me when I thought about certain things. I found it, most of the time, I found it sexist. I found it irrational about certain things. And I don't know, most of the time, not just Islam, but any religion felt like they were just here to control masses and sort of guide people into doing the right thing, which is not something bad, but it's also something controlling. So I don't think religion is bad. I think it helps people to not commit as many crimes. But yeah, at the same time, I don't think I need religion to be moral.
Yeah, I mean, I sympathize with that. I feel you. I feel you for real. Because like if I was a woman, it kind of would be hard to be Muslim when they say so many things about, women in Islam. You know what I mean? Like women can't be imams, women can't pray on their periods because they're unclean, stuff
Yeah.
like that. There's I can understand if you didn't want to be Muslim because of those things.
Yeah.
I just feel like, uh, God, in a way, has made men and women different, and He expects different things from us. But that's just my opinion about that. But I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a spiritual person. I do like to think that there is a greater power, but not in the way that it's written in a book.
I got you. You want to jump on that?
Let's see. Lovely couple, so open-minded. You guys are a good example. Most people's religious, political beliefs draw wedges.
Another thing I learned about Turkish people, the W is their enemy because in the Turkish language you don't have a W, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll say like veggies instead of wedges. It's pretty funny. Go ahead.
Kanye best.
Kanye best.
Old wives' tales, cleaning methods, LOL.
Yeah. All right. So that's what I've learned being with a Turkish girl. That's it. You want to jump on?
Yeah. What I've learned dating with a African American man from the States.
Marrying. We ain't dating.
Sorry.
That's the thing that pisses me off. People come in and say, "That's your girlfriend." This is my wife.
That's my husband.
That's right. Tell them.
Anyway, what I've learned about like the culture and things, I've learned that like Black people in America has a lot of culture. They have like good food, obviously good music. And also they're like grinders. They're like hard workers. They make a lot of things out of nothing and things like that. I've learned a lot about like, Black history in America through the, movies we watch, the songs that I listen to. I listen to certain songs, but after I met you and then I listen to them again, they now have a new meaning because now I know the backstory of certain things. And that was like a really inspiring part. And also like a really fun part to be able to learn about, someone else's history and how it inspires them. And also that's like, that also makes me really appreciate everything you do like in this YouTube channel as well. Because I know like where that comes from. So yeah, that was like America is only great because of like Black Americans.
That's right.
Because they got the food and the culture for the most part. And I'm not saying like white Americans are cool and whatnot. But, yeah. At least from what I've seen, because I'm not married to a white American. Anyway, yeah, and then also like racism is also part of like your culture, unfortunately. So I've learned a lot about that as well. Like obviously I was not like a racist before, but I've learned that some of the thoughts and things that I do are still like contaminated with racism and anti-Blackness and with white supremacist ideas. And I've learned like how to accept that fault and reverse them and be aware of them and things like that. I've learned how to talk to Turkish people about racism as well. And most of the time, like many reactions I get is like, "Really? Are people still racist?" Okay. And then I have to like go on to details and a little bit, and then they're like, "Oh, that's really bad. How can people do that?" And most of the time, like maybe they picked up something, hopefully, but then you also know that some things don't really affect you unless you live them yourself. Yeah. What else? I don't know. Through that also, I guess I've learned how big of a responsibility that we have for the next generation, because we're the ones who have to like teach the next generation not to be white supremacists and not to be anti-black and not to be like anti like not to be sexist and all of those discriminatory things, because I have a little brother, and like after I met Simon, I had to explain to him, like, for example, why saying the N-word is bad and why certain things are like racist, and like certain like just general overview of like Black Americans, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked with him about those things, and I've kind of like grasp that it can be really hard to, transfer that sort of stuff to kids, but it's also important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else? I've learned that, I don't know. I think this is a statistics, but most Black people are lactose intolerant.
Yes.
Because also, like when we went to Africa, they don't eat cheese.
Yeah, there's barely any cheese, and cheese was hella expensive in Africa.
Yeah. What else? I mean, through us traveling, I've learned that like no matter how little you have, you can make the most out of those things, because we're not rich, and Simon provides most of the travels that we do and stuff like that. So even though we don't have a lot of stuff, we don't have like all the money to climb Mount Meru and Kilimanjaro and do the fancy safari. We still had like hell of a lot of fun in Africa, and we learned a lot, and I would never replace any of it for anything. So yeah, if you're with the right person, even if you don't have a penny, you can still like have a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And be spontaneous and fun and all of that.
Yeah.
Can you read the comments while I think?
Yeah, no problem. Let's jump into some comments real quick. But that was very, very good. That was very good. All right. So, oh God. All right. So he said, so when can we expect babies?
Oh, wow.
Well, everybody's always putting this pressure on me. I'm putting in the work.
There's no pressure on you. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years, like, I guess right now I'm focusing on my education, and you're going to start school as well. Right. So I just want to be able to have a baby when I'm sure that's like, I'm able to take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that, if we were to have a child, then unfortunately, like I could do my best to make sure that we're okay with, what I make. But I do think it would help a lot if you also were working too, definitely. Preferably online, so that we could both be here and stuff like that. Or even, I mean, if we have kids, I will definitely be at home with them.
Yeah, at least I feel like one of us should be online, so
be here with them.
But I definitely had baby fever back in Tanzania.
Why?
You don't remember that time? I feel like I told you, but anyway, I had, when we were staying in Arusha in that house, I got a little bit of baby fever.
Why?
Because that house was so perfect. It was like
it was not perfect.
I mean, it had like 2 dogs and puppies, and like, it was like a family house. That's what I mean by perfect.
And another man living in the other section.
Yeah, well, he's a friend. He's a friend who's staying until his wife, accepts him back or something. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it had such a good vibe, and it was with the backyard, with the bonfire.
I got you.
And everything. And I did get like a little bit of baby fever, but
so you're saying
you
if
also
I
have
buy
to
it,
be realistic as
so
well.
you're saying there's no baby fever in the apartment, the small apartment?
No, there is. From time to time there is, but you can't just pop out babies.
But the house is better. Sorry, we're moving to Tanzania, guys. Sorry. Wow. The European adventure is over. We're gonna move to Tanzania because that's where AKDI feels the most fertile.
Okay.
Either way, I did not know that. So I learn new things every time we do these live streams. But what was I gonna say?
You want to continue, or you want to say something?
Yeah. Okay. So, what were you told about Black men before dating them? Is Simon the first Black man you date? Sorry. I don't care. Go ahead if you want to answer.
Simon is not the first Black man I dated, but I was never serious with I was only serious with one other person, then Simon, and that person was Turkish. But other than that, I had flings. But I never had a fling with a Black American. I just had a fling with an African, basically. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing in particular that like that what they tell us about Black men. You just hear some things from the media, like the BBC and all of this sort of thing. But I've learned that that's not true through experience.
Wow, not me. She's not talking about me.
not Simon, but no, for real.
That was a bad way of wording that.
Sorry. I'm not talking about Simon.
Either way, go ahead. Man.
Anyway, Simon has a great dick.
Go ahead.
Anyway, but yeah, you hear those sort of like media things, but I don't know what makes Simon special is not that he's Black, but he's just like so driven, so creative, so funny, so kind, and all those things that makes him special.
I try. Okay, so yeah, Black American culture is America's biggest export.
But sorry,
go ahead.
I just want to add this though, with any other Black person that I've dated or was friends with and things like that when I was abroad, I never had a conversation about race. So I guess that was one thing. Like I think even in our first date, one of our first dates, that we talked about like race, because I remember like in like the first week that we met, we were talking about something that I said was racist, and I didn't realize it back then. And then we were talking about it in the supermarket or something like that. And I remember that. So that was one of the things that made him
right. It's okay to say it. Like I think it's good to say it. We shouldn't be like hiding it. But you used to think like, okay, Black people had natural athletic ability.
Yeah, like they were better at sports and things like that.
And that's a belief that a lot of people have because they see so many professional Black athletes. And it's understandable that they could come to that conclusion, but they forget that a lot of the times Black athletes exist because we have no other opportunities.
Yeah.
Like they don't allow us to be doctors, lawyers, and engineers. So pick up the basketball.
Yeah, no, that was like one of the first conversations we had around race. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to be able to talk about that sort of thing with someone who is coming from that and also who is patient enough to explain to me, why this is not the way it is.
Yeah. All right. So me and Simon disagree on this topic, but the only way we can fix anti-Blackness is power. People don't respect the weak. Well, the thing is, I just believe that Black people aren't weak. We've proven ourselves to be especially strong. In South Africa, y'all went through years of apartheid. Y'all fought back against those evil forces and y'all won. And that shows great strength. We did the same in America. Many other countries in Africa fought for their independence. So Black people have proven to be strong. I just think the way to fight anti-Blackness is not with guns or fists. It's with words. We have to just educate people. We educate ourselves and we also educate them. Lactose gives me a rash.
Damn,
I've never had a rash.
That's even worse than you.
Yeah, no, I just let it loose. I just let it rip. But I've never had a rash. I thought it was only a Black South African thing. I would love to know what they eat in South Africa because I've heard that y'all do barbecue, but what's it called? Y'all do a specific type of barbecue, and I forgot the name. But I heard your barbecue is very famous in South Africa. And you also eat a lot of bread, so I've heard in South Africa. I don't know. Do you know anything about South African food?
No.
All right. Simon shooting blanks. It's okay. It's not blanks. My thing works. It works.
Not blanks.
Simon take notes. If you want babies, better get that house and white picket fence. I mean, hey, maybe a house is in the future, but I'm trying to go to university so I can get a much better job and hopefully turn up in the future. I don't know. But do you actually want a house or are you okay with an apartment? Because honestly,
I'm okay with an apartment, obviously, but it's just like it was that sort of moment. I knew at least I know that I want a house maybe in the future, like when we're older and stuff like that. But Right now, I'm fine with an apartment. Like I don't want to.
Let me be honest with you. Like sometimes I go back and forth in my mind about apartment or house, apartment or house. Because if you have a house, you can play music loud. You have a backyard. You can play sports. It's sort of like privacy. But then a house is usually not in the city, and it's far away from like the activity and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I don't know.
I mean, I prefer an apartment, and like in Turkey, like other than Marmaris, which is like a touristic small town,
Hmm.
you know, people usually live in apartments and they have families in apartments and things like that. It's
Yeah.
not like how Americans have houses and yards and shit
Yeah.
like that. So
I don't know. I'm sort of used to that.
that's not like an option for me, but
I mean, it's an option for me because I
Yeah.
think about wanting a house because houses have
maybe like in the
benefits.
future,
A house like right outside of a major city, like a house like 20 minutes from downtown wherever we live. I don't know. Simultaneously, all right, interesting. So, what were the main differences between Black American and African? Do you want to answer that?
And I don't know, like those people were different from Simon and different from each other, but particularly, like I said, like I don't know, maybe this is the difference that I never actually like spoken about racism with them or any topics around race with them. But then at the same time, I didn't know them that well as much as I knew Simon. But yeah, like I don't know, maybe that's something different that Black Americans have to face with racism since the moment they are born. And it's not the same with Africans because they're born in a Black community.
I feel like South Africans deal with that too.
Or yeah, maybe
They might be just more acquainted with that,
Yeah,
to some degree because of their history.
yeah.
I don't know.
Or yeah, maybe it's different in South Africa, but I've never been with anybody from South Africa
Yeah.
either. So
I only know one person from South Africa. He's an Indian fellow. He's very funny. His name's Nabil.
yeah, I
You didn't
remember
get a
him.
chance to meet him, but
Yeah.
he's a very interesting guy. All right. So, what's the cost of living in Turkey? Is 1K a month enough to live in a Turkey main city? What do you think?
1K is not enough to live in a main city like
Like-
Istanbul.
$1,000 a month?
Yeah, because remember when we were in Ape Sultan, you were making like around 2,000
Ish.
a month,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was like enough for most of the
Mhm.
utilities. I don't know if you had like money to save. Maybe you did,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you're living in Istanbul, and I'm guessing the prices have went up even more. But if you're a single person, you can find a somewhat affordable house in Istanbul, like a studio apartment, maybe for like $700, $800. But yeah, and then you have your other expenses, which will be around like $1,000 as well if you like to go out, to pubs and stuff like that.
So $1,000 a month is like 29,000 Turkish lira, something
Mhm.
like that. And you feel like 29,000 isn't enough to cover rent and groceries and utilities.
I mean, when we were staying in Istanbul, our rent was 7,000.
Hmm.
And probably now you can get something for like 10,000,
Mhm.
and then the remaining the remaining 19,000. Yeah, you can survive on that.
Hmm.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to go out like every day or so, but yeah, like
Yeah.
if you go out every weekend, like one day a week or something like that, and do some um, do some like cheap grocery shopping and stuff. Yeah, you can survive on that.
Okay. He said 1K is enough in Cape Town. All right. Sounds dope.
Okay, yeah. I was
Sounds
just
dope.
comparing it like to your earning, but I guess then at that time you were able to save some
Mhm.
money, maybe.
Right. So I'll ask you this, live in wisdom, because you're from Cape Town. Tell us about the safety in South Africa, because that's one of my main concerns about it. Is like how dangerous is it? And then on top of that, the load shedding, meaning like the power cutting off for hours at a time. Is that something that happens in Cape Town? Because I work online, so I can't be just teaching class and the power cuts off. It's not cool, man. So
Yeah,
let
like
us know
do
about
most
that.
places have like what was that?
Generators.
Generators.
Yeah,
Like hotels and Airbnbs and stuff.
yeah. Because when we were in Tanzania, it was like the power would shut off for like 8 hours for a day, every 3 days or so. So
Yeah.
it's something else.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But yeah, so is there anything else you want to add on to about what it was like, what you learned in our relationship this year, anything like that?
I don't know. Generally, I guess about men, what I've learned is that they also love to be loved and they love to be taken care of. And sometimes, like with you, at least, you present yourself to be strong and dependent and all of that, but also like you need to be taken care of as well. And even though you might not ask for it directly sometimes, I know now that I shouldn't be the only one in the relationship that's demanding love and care and all of that stuff. So yeah, that, I guess.
Are you talking about when we watch a movie and I put my head on your shoulder?
No, but that's very cute.
Is that what you're talking about? You just want to embarrass me in front of all my bros?
No, I'm talking about like emotional support and things like that. But that's also very cute, and I love and I like it when you do that. No, because most of the time, women feel like the man is the person that they depend on only, but it's nice to know that you depend on me too.
Yeah,
and I like being that sort of like wall and rock for
you. My pillow.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I've discovered different sexual parts of myself with you.
Okay. All right, it's getting real hot in here. Hold on.
Not in the freaky sense, but in a sense like more of like an emotional sexual sense, I guess. I would say that because it's it's different when you have sex with someone that you actually love and care about. So yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I'm blushing now, so I'm gonna stop here.
All right, let's jump into the comments. So South Africa is very safe. 99% of the crime is in the slums. Also, we have not had any load shedding for the past month. That's very good to hear. But when there is load shedding, mainly in Cape Town, it may go off like 2 hours, 4 hours a day. Some residential areas have generators, but obviously slightly more expensive. Very good comment there, Live Wisdom. Very interested very glad to hear that, honestly, because let's be real. Let me ask you this. Would you be okay with us living in like Cape Town in South Africa?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would be okay, but I would try to find like a solution for this load shedding thing. Like, I don't know. Like either obviously if you have a house and stuff, you can buy a generator. Or if it's like for 2 hours or something like that, you know how we have those Wi-Fi boxes for places that don't have good Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Maybe you can have something like a power box or something.
Right.
We can, it's not that bad because, like I said, we were living in Arusha and there were electric cuts every day, but I still got baby fever.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you another question about South Africa, Live Wisdom. Let me ask you about the English there, because we went to Tanzania and, almost zero English. It has to be Swahili. Kenya, a bit more mixed, Swahili and English. What's it like in South Africa? Can you live and work being like only an English speaker? Because, that's me and, she speaks Turkish and English, but that's it. So let us know about that.
Also, is there tension between like white people and black people?
Why are you so quiet asking? Say it with your chest.
Is there any tension? Just joking, but I'm curious about the dynamics of the two like parts, I guess. And I don't know. Also, like how when we were in Mauritius, the more posh places were like French, like European French people, or like white people from Europe, and then like slums were more like black and stuff. Is there like sort of that sort of thing also in South Africa as well? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Be very interested to know what you say about that, Live Wisdom. Let us know. We're only going to be here about 15 more minutes or so. But you were going to read some comments or text from Reddit while you pull that up. Okay. All right. So here's what Live Wisdom said to one of our questions. So 99.9% of South Africans can't speak English. Maybe our accent might throw you off, but we are mainly fluent in English. Most can speak two 6 languages. Jesus Christ. Most people there speak at least 2 or 6 languages. That's a wide, that's a wide 2 or 6. God damn. Especially the Black South Africans. That's very cool to hear. You know, if I moved there, if I lived in South Africa, I would want to learn like Kosa. I hope I'm saying that right. The one that starts with the X, or what's Zulu, and I think Kosa. I would try to learn those as well. And I don't know, would I be a coon? Would I be a bad Black person if I learned Afrikaans? Is that like coonish? Is that like if I was a Black person trying to learn Afrikaans, would that be coonish? All right, there isn't really racial tension. It's mainly a class issue. Okay, that's what he says.
Okay.
All right.
So I have one question because I screenshotted this because I was actually curious.
Okay.
It's for men, and those in the chat can answer too. So, do men feel threatened when a more attractive male enters the room?
That's a very good question. I think if like somebody who is like as tall as LeBron James walked into the room, of course you're gonna be like, "Who's this nigga?"
So height matters?
Yeah, height matters because every man cares about their height like a woman cares about their weight.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm 5'7", 5'8". 5'7" and a half. I'm an average size guy, but there are guys who are like 6'2", and like women kill themselves over tall guys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Y'all be falling over each other trying to get to a tall nigga. Let's keep it real.
Okay. So if he's tall, you would be threatened. What if he's rich?
Rich, no. I'm not worried about rich because women love broke dick. Women love broke dick. I mean, Jeff Bezos got divorced and his wife married a teacher. Bill Gates got divorced and his wife.
I like the confidence.
I'm just saying. That outside dick make them hoes sick. Yeah, I'm not worried about richer man. Famous man. Famous, maybe. Famous to some extent. It depends on
So if Shaq entered this room right now, you would be threatened because he's tall and he's famous.
Not Shaq, because Shaq's an old nigga. Shaq's old as hell. And Shaq's not gonna fuck my girl. Shaq's not gonna fuck my wife. No acting. No, don't embarrass me on the stream. I wish you would ask me what if Kelly Rowland walked into the room. I wish.
What would happen, Simon? Tell me.
Nothing.
Exactly.
I think men are only intimidated by athletes who walk into a room. Generally. Okay. That's my answer. Okay. All right.
That's a good answer.
Are women intimidated by other women walking into a room?
Hell yes.
Wow.
I mean, I can appreciate beauty, but at the same time, like when I was in Tanzania, Kenya, like I was admiring the Nyash myself, but I was also like, you know, why is Simon with
me? Don't say that. I love you for you.
I know.
You got Nyash.
No, but you know, it's different. And also like
there were some people who didn't have Nyash.
But sometimes you see that Nyash, and also like not only the Nyash, but she's just like beautiful, and she got the Nyash, and she has the tiny waist, beautiful hair, whatever. She has the package, and she's like your waiter in Tanzania, and you're like, okay, like why is this bitch talking to my man, asking him if he wants a beer?
Oh, that's funny.
You know, so yeah, I get threatened, not in a sense that, you know, I would be aggressive or anything, but just acknowledging that, you know, you're never going to be the best looking person in the room or something like that.
I mean, I love you for you. I love you for you, but if our marriage did fall apart, I probably would like move to like East Africa and just not get married again, but go crazy. Honestly. But I love you for you because you have everything. You have Nyash and you also have brains. You have brains and butt. So I am good. I'm good.
Who has the tallest sticks?
I will kill you. Anyway, so with us men, it's mainly height and status competition. I think we do get intimidated, but it's subconscious. Don't say that, Simon. LOL. Ha ha ha. I don't know what I said, but I don't know if you're talking about when I said I'll kill you. I'm just joking.
No, he's referring to like going to
East Africa.
East Africa.
I'm just saying,
enjoying all the
if
nyash.
you left me, because I'm not getting a divorce. The only way we're getting a divorce is if you like file that paperwork, and that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting a divorce. I'm Will Smith.
Now
Bad
she's going
marriage
to
for
be
life.
self-conscious around East African women. Oh, I've passed that point. We've been there for like 6 months, so I had to face the reality and accept certain things. And I'm fine with that. I appreciate now. After a certain point, I just appreciated it, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you live in South Africa, you see that all the time.
Yeah.
So Live Wisdom isn't even tripping. He's like, yeah, I know.
Okay, I guess I don't know. I'll ask this too.
Go ahead.
Is it worth it dating a super hot girl or a guy? So like, I don't know. I guess I'll expand it a little bit. Like a super hot girl or a guy can be like probably are successful in their professional life, because let's be honest, attractive people do make more money in average.
And taller people.
Yeah, and taller people, and they would have constant attention around themselves, probably, but they're also like super hot, and you have them or something like that. So, is it worth being with a really super hot person?
I'm with you.
I'm not super hot. I'm just like average hot.
Okay, average hot. I think, I think it's worth it. But it does come with a set of challenges. Like, let's say you were dating Pamela Anderson in her prime. And even if you take away the fame, you're walking in everywhere with this girl with her tits up to her chin and like a snatched waist. So you're going to have to, if you're an average looking dude, you're going to have that challenge of people trying to holler at your girl, test your girl, ogling your girl up and down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there are challenges that come with it. It's like if you're a man who dates a really tall girl, right? I've been there. I dated this girl who was really tall, and I'll keep it real. She kind of intimidated me. Like, we were cool. We had a good thing going on, but I just sort of like fell back from it because I was like, I can't look up to you like this.
Wow.
Like,
was she that tall?
She was a little bit like, I had to look up a bit. Like, that's how, and I just couldn't do it.
Like this? She was like this?
I would say like a head above me. Like
a head?
A little,
that's a lot.
Not a half a head. Half a head. So like
this.
So I did have to do a little bit of
this.
So I couldn't. She was cool with me. She did not care. And because if you're a tall girl, you're dealing with that all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like a struggle. So they're cool with any man that will, not any man, but a man who can look past that. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. Like my best friend is really tall, and she deals with that sort of, but she kind of tends to go for tall guys,
right?
So yeah,
and
that's a challenge. Yeah. And like she never wears high heels, things like that.
Yeah. So let's see, but I don't know where we were. All right, nope. All right, you want to read this? Nope.
I prefer taking a 5'7" seriously and a 8+ just for fun. What is that?
So he means a girl who's a 5, 6, or 7.
Oh.
He likes to take those seriously, but not an 8 or up.
Usually extremely attractive women come with a lot of issues and are entitled. AKDI, you're extremely attractive. Stop being so modest.
There we go. See, people think you're hot. But we're cutting this live stream short, so thank you for watching.
Yep, if you have a very beautiful chick, other men always try to play with you. It's a headache.
Yeah. I think it's up to the man and how comfortable he feels. And we have to remember that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So some girl you might find really hot, other people might not find. You know what I mean? Like when we went to Africa, like everybody was on my wife because unfortunately a lot of Africans view whiteness as beauty, and like they saw my wife and it was like, oh, I can get her. And maybe they were doing it for like visa reasons or whatever, but there's also, she was attractive there. You know what I mean? And also when we went to Africa, she didn't realize that, I'm pretty fine for a black man in Africa too. So some people were trying to holler at me. I never told you that. I never told you that though.
What happened?
I never told you that though. But I mean, you remember when we went to Club Casablanca, and even though there were some pros there, they were choosing on you, boy.
What happened?
No, they were choosing on you.
No,
boy.
but did they say something?
I mean, they were,
Did at the
coming
bar
up.
or
I mean, you know the
something?
vibe. I mean, you know the vibe when people try to come up and holler.
Okay.
I mean,
I know
I'm,
you're cute, but you better stay on.
you know what I mean? Like but either way, what I'm trying to say is like, if you're with somebody, like you're gonna face different challenges in different circumstances. Like us being in an interracial relationship, we face different challenges and stuff like that. So like, of course, people are like looking at me in certain places, and other places people are like looking at her in certain places and certain weird things. So you just got to deal with that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna say my preference, and don't want to sound superficial, but I don't care if I do. I just cannot date a man who's prettier than me. And I think, like, for me, I think you're very handsome, and I love your face, and I think your face is beautiful, and you're just like whole personality exudes out of you and makes you fun and handsome and sexy. But at the same time, like, I could never date like a model looking guy, because I don't want that. I already struggle with my self-esteem. So if I have this guy next to me that all the girls lust over, I can't take that. And I don't think some girls love that. And obviously, like, everyone wants to date someone attractive, but I just need someone that I find sexy and attractive, and that's okay for me. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you were like a really, really, really like model looking handsome guy, would I still be with you? Of course, because I love you for you, like you said. But yeah.
So when I lose a bunch of weight and get a 6-pack and like 12-inch arms and shit like that, you're gonna be like, I gotta leave you, Simon.
No, I won't leave you. Of course not. But
because I'll never get taller.
I might be a tiny bit more jealous.
Wow, don't do that. Don't do that. This has been one of the craziest live streams ever. But what we're gonna do, because we're about to wrap up this live stream, we're gonna pop this champagne for the campaign. Know what I'm saying?
Don't spill it on your laptop.
I ain't spilling it on the laptop. We're gonna keep it real kosher in this thing. So this is how we doing for 2024. I don't know where you are in the world, but this thing is not about to pop. I don't think it's gonna pop. Please don't pop. Woo! Yes, Lord. 2024, here we come. Yes, that's right. Cheers to all of you for tuning in to Live with AKDI and Simon. We got champagne for the campaign for the ladies. Know what I'm saying? Okay. And this is how we rocking. Cheers.
Cheers.
And it's been great chopping it up with you. Shout out to Live Wisdom for joining the tribe. No, we are not in Turkey right now. We are in Budapest, Hungary. We're about to go outside, look at some fireworks and all that. Simon will kill it in South Africa, especially with the suit, bro. I know I look fly, handsome, and sexy. I look like an old Obama. Wow. I look like old Obama. Anyway, I really look forward to doing more of this content with this beautiful woman here. More topics on my live stream talking about different stuff, new videos, Blacks are coming soon. So many things. Shout out to everybody who's donated to this channel. I love you. I love you. I love you from my heart. I worked like a dog for this. I slaved away at this channel for this. All sorts of videos and late nights and yelling at the computer screen for this. Going to fuck ass Albania, getting called nigga for this. I done did it all. And now we're here. So even though we got 5 people in the stream, I want to say thank you so much to everybody. It's been a crazy 2023. I really don't have the words to express how I'm feeling right now, because I'm so energized and I feel so turned, and I'm so blessed to see another year. So blessed to have my wife here. So blessed to be in Budapest, Hungary right now. So blessed that I get the other chance to go to university. So blessed that I have all of you who have helped me build this platform. I would have not have done it without you. Would have not have done it without Avery. Would have not have done it without Live in Wisdom. I would have not have done it without Ozzy. I would have not have done it with Layberry. I would have not have done it with Hebrew Hayashimi. I would have not have done it without y'all. Y'all are the motherfucking shit. I'm sorry, AKDI, I'm ranting, but it's champagne for the campaign for 2024.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year's, everybody. everybody. I will not shut the fuck up. I got more to say. I love my mama. I love my daddy. I love my brother. I love everybody out there, man. I love everybody who's hated on me this year and everybody who's shown me the most love this year because it's been absolutely amazing. Ads are coming up, but I'm skipping the ads for y'all. Fuck them ads. We talking big shit now, baby. We talking big shit now, baby. This how we living. Yes. It's been dope. It's been real. It's been true. I love this. I love this. I love my life and I'm so blessed. Shout out to the hearts. Shout out to everybody. Peace, love, and wisdom. Happy 2024 for you. One more time. One more time. Give me a big old kiss. That's right. That's right. Now I'm about to go. Fuck my
What's that?
Let's go. All right. Peace. Oh, I can't even close it. All right.